Hi parents, welcome to session 6 of Godly Parenting. Don't worry, the car is stationary, parked in the car park, no driving and filming at the same time. But speaking about driving, some children are just born with the special ability to drive, well below the legal age of getting a driving license. What am I talking about? Be it 2-year-old or 17-year-old, some children just have this special ability to drive the parents up the wall, drive us parents down to our grave earlier, and some are even expert drivers and can even drive the devil out of us, and that without even going to the Bible seminary. Well, jokes aside, let's be on a more serious note. What do we really do when discipline fails? What do we really do when discipline fails? Last week, I talked about the goal of godly discipline being helping our children become more and more like Christ. But what if, despite our numerous discipline attempts, our 5-year-old still constantly throws a terrible tantrum? What if we have tried different methods and techniques of discipline, but our 9-year-old is still lazy and shows no interest whatsoever with studies? And what if our 15-year-old continues to answer back at us, continues to challenge our parental authority or parental guidance, despite us being patient and firm through the years? What do we do? Well, good news is this is where grace kicks in. This is where grace kicks in. Good parenting gets its parenting cue from ourselves or others, from what we've experienced or what we've observed or what others people have done. But godly parenting gets its parenting cue from God. How does God, our Father, parent us? And when we get our parenting cue from God, our Father, then we cannot run away from grace. Grace is a hallmark of God's discipline to you and I, and rightfully, it should be a hallmark of our parental discipline to our children. Grace for a child's heart. Grace for a child's heart. Luke chapter 15 is a very famous parable, the parable of the prodigal son. But it can just as well be called the parable of the gracious father. Now the question for us parents is this: would I behave like the gracious father? Or would I behave like that calculative and legalistic older son? It's hard to act in grace when we are consumed by our anger. It's hard to act in grace when our child has embarrassed us or our parental authority threatened. It's hard to act in grace when we are carrying many burdens from work, marriage, finances, etc. And it's hard to act in grace when we are bent on controlling our children's behavior instead of addressing their heart. If you are finding it hard to act in grace towards your child, call for a timeout. Stop that disciplining. Tell your child very honestly that you are too upset or you are too stressed out by your work, whatever it is, and that you need a timeout, and that you will deal with the matter or you will deal with your child at a later time. And then if possible, go and find yourself a quiet spot, maybe like me now here in the car, and just pour out your heart. Talk to God. Pour out your frustrations. Pour out your disappointments to the Lord. And you know what? God will soon flood your very own heart with His grace. And then you will start to find that you will have some grace to show to your child. Grace doesn't omit discipline. Please understand, grace is not a carefree attitude, relax, chill, whatever our kids want to do is fine, it's alright. No. Because discipline is upheld, grace is necessary. Because God's discipline is upheld, Jesus, grace personified, went to the cross. If your child is driving you up the wall today, don't despair, dear parent. If you're finding it hard to act in grace, remember God's grace for you took Him to the cross. Well, I hope today's short session has helped you, dear parents. Of course, this 5 minutes cannot immediately transform you nor I into a fantastic godly parent. We have the reflection questions for the week, and we encourage you to go through questions day by day. Spend time with the Lord, be very honest with the Lord, and most important, allow the Holy Spirit to work from our heart inside out to change us to become better parents. You can be a gracious parent. God bless you. Have a great week.